waking up to ash and dust.
Hello everybody, and of course, welcome to the second game of the ESPL Weekly Series number 4 of the finals that's going on, of course, between the Panthers and the Mongolz. Man versus beast, 75-minute game last time. Oh, it just could not stop. I am Briefcase, of course, joined by the handsome Mito.
Oh man, well, you guys can't see the lobby chat, but everyone was having a heart attack after that game. And everyone is like, oh, come on, let's just rest for a couple of minutes. Let us catch our breaths. And that's what I did. I needed to like stand up and stretch and be like, oh, get some fresh air. Went outside the door. And now I'm feeling much better. And, well, hopefully game 2 would be just as good as game 1.
I'm hoping slightly shorter.
I don't care. Like, the game can go on as long as needed. I'm enjoying every single moment of those 2 games. Well, first game, yeah.
Yeah, of that first game. Just real, oh man, I can't get over just how good it was. The decision making coming out of Mongolz was just just impeccable, and especially with that gyro double divine near the end there, and not trying to go for that roast, just running straight for the ancient. Just very perfect, very crisp, and very nice right there. And I mean, now this time around, that first draft actually was pretty darn quick, if I remember correctly. Fairly rapid fire all over the place, and I mean, it seems like both teams knew what they were doing. This time, taking their sweet time, realizing that neither of them is really the immensely stronger team. It seems like a really even matchup.
Oh yeah,
5 seconds remaining.
well, okay, so let's get straight into the draft. Right away, we have BB and Clockwork being banned out by the Mongolz. And Panther, they've decided to take out the Invoker. Not a hero they want to give away. Understandably, it's just so powerful, and especially the Quaswex, even though it did have high impact during last game, during the like early to mid game, but he did kind of start to fall off towards the later portions of the match. And wow, we haven't seen this hero in like being first picked in any of the ESPL games, I think. This hero, one of the most popular heroes in Dota, just declining ever so slightly, and it's good to see Visage being first pick. Sure, his mana cost has gone up, but he still makes a full impact on the game. And people just kind of forget about, even though he starts out as a support, towards the mid-game, the nuking power coming out of Visage is incredible.
Oh yeah, just those soul assumptions. And personally, obviously, I'm not too bad of a player by any means, but whenever you are getting into a big fight, you always think, okay, you know what, Visage is a support, we can kind of leave him alone, but if you do that, he just basically shoots these giant cannonballs at you the entire fight, and I mean, he can win it for his team in those instances, and at least that's something that I've had to try and get better with, is like, you know what, we're going to target the damage dealers, and Visage is definitely one of those.
Oh yeah, and Nyx Assassin, he's my hero. Like, Nyx Assassin every game, those mana burns, those blink stuns, those vendetta kills, scouting out for his teammates, this hero does it all. Nothing much to be said there. A good counter to Nature's Prophet as well, depending on how they pair the hero up. And this time, surprisingly, we're not going to see an AA, Ancient Apparition, anywhere in the first pick phase.
Well, I mean, it's Panthers who really love that hero, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Yeah. Oh, they got Nature's Prophet, and obviously AA comboing with Nature's Prophet is none too bad either. So I mean, it's still in the pool. They can still do it unless Mongolz wants to take him out. But it just seems like right now, one thing I have to say that I've been appreciating with these drafts, and just in that last game, is that neither of these teams seem to be going for any of these kind of cheesy all-in push strats or, you know, along those lines, which are of course perfectly viable, but it's coming down mostly to pure and utter play and how each team is doing in the game, and that is just a joy to watch.
Oh, yeah. Game 1. Guys, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's long, 75-minute game, but it's action-packed. Getting like roughly equal to what, 2 kills per minute? Oh man, and after that game my mouth is still dry and my heart is still pumping. Oh, you would definitely love the game if you haven't seen it already. But moving on into the current game 2, well, still wondering what they're going to be picking up. Nyx Assassin, Visage, 2 great heroes. Oh, this actually was a combo in, let's say, the previous patch, before Nyx Assassin received the nerf and before Visage as well. These two used to be the most popular duo being picked up before the surge of like the whole Alchemist thing, and before like Batrider received that nerf, which I'm very happy about. I don't like Batrider as a hero. Because I mean, when it came out, I used to play SF so much, and then after you see Batrider, it's like, oh dear, what do I do? Yeah, I just quit Dota for about half a year before he gets nerfed. So SF, oh, as we see here, SF, he gets oh, and Panthers, they're sick of dealing with that Beastmaster. So,
oh yeah,
well, Beastmaster.
I mean, we saw last game just how much of an impact he had. He was actually the richest hero for much of the late game there until Gyro finally eclipsed him near the end. But, I mean, he had such an obscene impact and some beautiful item choices, obviously, as well. Getting that Necro incredibly early, just foregoing the mech, had brown boots by the time he had Necro, and was just playing really, really nicely, but not wanting to give that up. And the Mongolz, I mean, rightly so, banning out the Naga Siren, just seeing how obscenely annoying that hero can be, especially when you have a BKB user. It is either, I mean, it's either basically 5-on-1, or you just get put to sleep and get into a horrible position anyway. So I think the Mongolz using their bans very wisely. The Panthers, though, pick up a Lifestealer. No really big infest targets at the moment. Nature's Prophet, always a possibility, obviously. But, I mean, you don't have a puck. You don't have any blinkers dead set on it at the moment. At the very least, Nature's Prophet is a TP scroll for him, though.
Oh yeah, and just want to talk about Beastmaster a little bit more. He is the quote-unquote Beastmaster, and yeah, they had Beastmaster up against the Panthers. I'm sorry, that was very
Oh my gosh, it's the worst joke you've ever made.
Yeah, but okay, going back to looking at just purely at the heroes, Panthers, their lineup, it does remind me a little bit of what Alliance's draft looks like, or even in some sense Fnatic. Whereas Mongolz, their lineup is very similar to what Speed Gaming does, or yeah, Speed Gaming does it, Fnatic does it. If they grab a Mirana right now, that would have been just what Speed loves to have. Having that Visage, having that Luna, having that Mirana, all being ranged and just having so much burst. And then you have Moonlight Shadow, high movement speed, high mobility, and yeah. So this is still questionable. No idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, not too sure, really. It seems like, I mean, I understand Luna, obviously a good hero and all that she does, but she is one of those heroes that really does need a BKB to live through things, and with Bane there, just ready to Fiend's Grip, you really do need a Nyx Assassin available, but I suppose as long as you always stick Familiars onto the Bane, you can guarantee that Luna will be doing a lot in a team fight. But, I mean, Lifestealer, I feel, is one of those heroes that's quite good against Luna as well. Obviously, she can do quite a bit of damage against him, but with Open Wound, she doesn't have a hard and fast escape in her. And that can basically mean that instead of Lifestealer having to tunnel vision onto a support and take them out, he can actually just tunnel vision onto Luna.
Yeah, and then right now there's still no answer for the Lifestealer pick. Nyx Assassin, Visage, if the Luna's ever in trouble, they won't be the ones saving the Luna. So perhaps if they do decide, hey, it should be a mid-solo Nyx Assassin or even the offlane Nyx Assassin, then they have the option to pick up another support. Ooh, and they still have the opportunity, if they run the offlane Nyx Assassin, to grab a support who can deal with the Lifestealer in rage form. A couple of things come to mind. A Trian Protector, as unpopular as that hero has been in our tournament. Let's see what else. Shadow Demon is another good one. Yeah, and it deals great with the Bane, and it gives Luna so much pushing power as well, because the illusions. They're gonna have the bouncing glaives as well. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Shadow Demon's not, and it's a good setup for Nyx Assassin.
What do you think of this
Anything else?
Earthshaker pickup, though? I mean, that's another hero that we do not see get that much play.
Earthshaker, there's so many ways to play Earthshaker.
Remaining.
From a long time ago, when Puppy invented like the level 1 roaming Earthshaker, coupled with Kuro's mid-solo Tinker, that was a pretty big breakthrough for that hero. And it used to be just staple pickup for every Chinese Dota game. Like it's first pick material, but now it's kind of fallen off because there's so much more variety of heroes. People are looking for supports that can jungle, can do multiple things, but pairing up with the Bane and Lifestealer, it's okay, I suppose. Lifestealer, it's gonna be hard for him to die.
Oh yeah, it seems like
Mirana.
Lifestealer should be having a pretty easy game as far as living is concerned this time around. And I had a hero in my head for what Mongolz could be or maybe should be picking, but it's gone now. And it definitely wasn't a Darkseer. Oh well, but nonetheless, I mean, Darkseer is here now, and he's here to stay. Not too sure. There just doesn't seem to be an answer for the Lifestealer that I can see, however, and that makes me pretty worried, I have to say. But I digress. Let's get into who's playing who. Over on the Panthers, it looks like we have a reconnect. This will give us ample time to tell you who is playing who. We got Kipo playing as the Ben, Senior Hydra as the Lifestealer, TJ going to be the Mirana, Shiny going to be this Earthshaker, and Kriz going to be the Nature's Prophet. And Mito, would you like to take the Mongolz?
Yep, on the Radiant team we have the Mongolz, and Packside will be playing as a carry Luna. Storm, once again, on the Nyx Assassin as a support. Nelly will be playing the support Visage. Sunky will be playing as a mid-solo Puck, and finally we have Masquerade playing the offlane Darkseer. I just want to point out though, would it be possible for Panthers to run, say, a solo lane Lifestealer and go aggressive trialing the Bane, Mirana, and Earthshaker? It is pretty strong, but then again, Mongolz, the supporting duo,
I just feel like if you ever put Lifestealer up against a Darkseer, he will invariably have a really bad time. But something I want to actually draw attention to that I find quite odd, at least just on a personal basis, is that Paxa, even before moving out as Luna, has opted to get 1 point in Lunar Blessing, and as is my, well, understanding and thought process is you wait long and hard until you put that first point into anything, and as we saw, wasn't last game, but a couple of games ago, is that not putting that 1 point into Lucent Beam early on actually cost them the first blood.
Indeed. And wow, everybody seems to have this Luna set. It's just so beautiful, so gorgeous. But I didn't say, hey, Lifestealer has to go up against, say, the Darkseer. I don't know. They have interesting lanes, so, but I don't really know. Mid-solo Mirana?
Yeah, I mean, you
dual
could run
roaming.
that. If we're just talking about possibilities as far as the lanes, though, I mean, who do you think is actually going to be going mid? Actually, now that I look at the Panthers lineup.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out as well.
Like, it could be a Nature's Prophet, and you could send Trents all over Puck, but it's really not going to do very much. You know what? It might be
I
even...
prefer the Nature's Prophet mid.
Yeah, I want to say it could be a Bane, obviously, because you get that enfeeble down and it makes last hitting an obscene chore, but I think that obviously the Mirana and Bane combo lane is just vastly too strong to opt for. We could even do Nature's Prophet solo, Mirana and Bane together, and then you can have Earthshaker and Lifestealer together in the mid if they really wanted to.
Yeah, Earthshaker's not going to do very much for the Lifestealer though. Highly unnecessary in my opinion. If you're going to grab Earthshaker, it's best to pair up with a range hero that needs protection. If you run dual lane, Lifestealer plus Earthshaker, they can't really do anything to the Puck. They can't really do anything to the Darkseer unless you get the perfect block. Even then, it's still going to be relatively hard. You can TP out, but I just feel it might potentially be aggressive trial lane. I'm just thinking long and hard.
Yeah, I'm just not 100% sure. I think if anything, you were right the first time and probably sending Lifestealer solo top more likely than not going to be against a Darkseer, so he's not going to have a terrific time. But I mean, with this tri-lane that you have in Mirana, Bane, and Earthshaker, it seems like you're almost guaranteed to get a few kills, no matter what you're up against, and especially against something like a Luna who doesn't have any form of natural escape. I mean, she's going to have to be incredibly careful, and I mean, with both Mirana and Bane being ranged, and do actually both of them outrange the Luna? Luna's sitting at 330, Bane definitely does, Mirana will then guarantee it as well. It seems like she's going to be having a difficult time. You have Visage obviously able to pepper them, but he is very slow. And if they even decide to turn and return fire on him, he's going to be taking quite a few hits himself.
Yeah, and don't forget, the fights can always become a 4 against 3, because Furin can always pour in at any time of the game, whenever he feels like it. And Furin should have the upper hand in terms of rune control over the puck, simply because he can use the teleport to just fly over, or he can send Treants, summon Treants, have each one sitting at a rune spot and just deny the rune, and never have to leave the lane. And if he takes enough harassments from the puck, TP home, come right back. So yeah, it's gonna be fine. In terms of trialing versus trialing, it feels like the engagement is gonna be coming up from Panthers, and if they get, I feel like if they do initiate, they will get the kill on the Luna, but someone will die simply because of the way Visage works. It's the constant nuking combo coming out.
Well, that is true, obviously. Yeah, that's the thing is, also, whenever you do play against a Visage, or with one even, you have this slight sense of, if somebody does try and get a gank, we can at the very least get 1-for-1 or a 1-for-2 trade. It always feels like you're never giving up a single kill for nothing when you have a Visage, unless, of course, he's the one that happens to get out of position and has a pretty rough time then. But like, yeah, it pretty much seems like if you're going trial and try, it'll only be a tit-for-tat sort of situation, and neither one will really come out massively ahead unless, of course, Visage just gets slept arrowed, and I mean, that is it's a bad place to be in.
Yeah, and Brief, don't forget to start showing the game stats when the game gets going. Blast hits and net worth and whatnot. We don't want people to get upset over these kind of stuff.
I know, I saw Climax, he's talking about it. Please now change game stats. Boom! Look at those last hits and denies, everybody. Or, do you want levels? It's all the same, nothing has happened, but look at those last hits and denies up there, quick as can be, just to make sure I don't forget.
Yeah, that's good. And now everyone's back in the game. Well, so we're good to go, finally. Hurrah.
Oh, terrific, and looks like we can finally get into this game and hopefully have everything work out really nicely. And right away, Kriz, he's got those two natures, or those two treants doing whatever they possibly can, just walking away. And, I mean, so clearly not going to be sending one to each rune. Instead, might just be going straight for a jungle, and I'm still a little uncertain about what these lanes are going to be. Looks like Mirana actually getting pooled, and it's going to be a mid Mirana. Looks like Kipo actually going to be going with this with this Lifestealer along with Shiny, and we're going to have an off-lane Nature's Prophet with Boots and a pooled Tango. So, I mean, these are some pretty unexpected lanes. I guess you just always get into that mindset that Mirana and Bane combo is just too strong to let out, but, I mean, this is pretty strong, too.
I don't like the laning choices coming up Panthers, though. Mirana has a pretty hard time up against Puck, because none of his spells are ever going to hit the Puck. And Puck starts out, look at how much base damage Puck has right now. I mean, sure, he's got the Lunar Blessing, so... but still has a significant last hitting advantage over the Mirana. Your arrows are going to hit because of phase shift. Same with your Starfall. Either one you cast, he's just going to phase shift and then stay safe. At most, you can land 1 out of the 2. At the same time, because you're running a melee carry, which is a Lifestealer, then Darkseer is going to be a pest. If he starts out in the jungle and rotates when he hits level 3, which seems like what he's going to be doing, hiding out in the jungle already, then it's going to be pretty annoying for the Lifestealer, like, especially if Darkseer gets the double Iron Show off.
Oh yeah, and I mean, then it just feels like your supports are forced to try and burst that one creep down, and it's a little bit of a waste when it comes right down to it as well. And Like, Nature's Prophet, as far as his bottom lane is concerned, there's no way he's going to be having a good time here. With Luna here just waiting in the wings, and if Visage ever shows his face, I mean, yeah, he's got brown boots, so he's not going to be dying anytime soon, but he's not going to be getting any farm either.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to see a jungle Doxia, which means the tri-lane plus a Doxia can potentially kill the Furon over and over again. Once Doxia gets some levels, puts a surge onto the next assassin, then, oh, you're looking at a Nature's Prophet in trouble.
And then immediately seeing that the Darkseer hasn't gone top, we have this rotation coming out of Shiny. He does have a smoke available. Not too sure exactly where he's going. Maybe wrapping around, trying to find somebody either in the jungle or maybe even this Puck. But, I mean, I don't know if too much is really going to come out of it when it comes down to it. Nyx Assassin obviously just waiting in the wings. Kriz trying his very best to, I mean, leech whatever EXP he can get. But this is going to be really difficult to actually deal with. None of these camps have been blocked as well. Well, I suppose this Trent right on the magic bush doing his job. And if they're not scouting this out and they're not finding it, Nature's Prophet might be able to actually get a few more levels than you'd normally expect one to have.
Yeah, when you look at Doxia, it's level 3. Thanks to Nelly using that illusion room to stack up certain camps. Yeah, Masquerade, he's ready to head off to the offlane. If he wants to. Level 3 usually is the right level for
oh, and we see some cheeky Earthshaker blocking going on, feeding them to the Ancients, going to be denying Luna quite a bit of EXP and farm. And you know what? I quite like this, because the only really downside of this, especially if it goes uncontested, which, I mean, eventually they'll probably get a ward there, is that whoever is stuck under tower has to eat up a bunch of damage usually. But if all he does is cast Treants, he'll be fine, and you can just make them tank it for him. So, I mean, he should be doing okay. Now it looks like we actually might have a gank onto Puck. Kipo going in. Finally, that arrow might actually land. Yes, indeed it will. And this might be enough. A TP in from Kriz as well. Nice stun on 2. Coming out of Storm, though. Enough, almost enough to save this Puck. And now Storm wants to keep something happening. Is only level 1, however, and really does need to get out of here. Kriz can't quite finish him off, and neither can this Bane. But First Blood going the way of the Panthers. So, like you're saying, Mirana's arrow's never going to hit unless, of course, you have Bane rotating around.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Earthshaker rotating to offlane, doing these pulls. This is much better than the original laning that they started with. And these rotations are much needed from
Masquerade in a little bit of trouble. Not quite enough damage or mana to... You could Brain Sap him, not going to kill him. You couldn't quite Nightmare him in time, and because of that, he's going to get away. But now he's starting to use those Ion Shells, was actually being quite a bit of a pest to Senior Hydra, and I mean, that's just going to constantly happen with level 3 Darkseer, probably level 4 now, yes indeed. And I mean, yeah, like you're saying, Earthshaker, just pulling these people into the Ancient Camp, that is just terrific. Not so much for Paxa, but I mean, a nice... a nice difference that they've made, a nice change that they've made in their original lineup. But however now, Nature's Prophet not here to tank these creeps and deal with them. This tower is going to be taking an obscene amount of damage.
Yeah, but at the same time, Earthshaker will get some additional levels. And Doxia at top, it's lucky for the lifesteal that he hasn't been using the double Iron Shell. But at the same time, this is partially, apart from the medium camps being like switched around, but this is another nerf to Doxia. Because of the way the lanes work in the off lane, it's so much closer to your tower. So when you put down the Iron Shell, it actually pushes the lane unfavorably. So it's a trade-off when you put on double Iron Shell.
Now Storm,
school, the reason...
way too deep in enemy territory. Arrow flies, but doesn't actually land. A little bit of a misplay, it seems, from Panther, or maybe just some sweet little juke coming from Storm. Looks like he wants to stay here. Not too sure why. Nelly, though, able to pepper everybody he could ever want with these illusions. And with Soul Assumption here, you need to be quite scared of basically that cannon that Visage has underneath those wings. However, though, I mean, if you look at the last hits, it definitely seems like Mongolz, while giving up free farm to this Lifestealer, they're doing quite nicely in and of themselves. Not as many rotations coming out of them, and therefore everybody able to stick in their lane a little bit longer and find those last hits, find that farm that they really do want on those core heroes.
Yeah, but if you look at it...
Now Masquerade,
Mongolz,
though, he's in a little bit of trouble. This Ion Shell doing quite a bit of damage to Senior Hydra, but not enough. And some beautiful body blocks coming out of Kipo. Gets put to sleep right when he wants him to, right outside, and now because Kriz is here, this is going to be a dead Darkseer.
Oh man, that was a beautiful, beautiful play by Bane Elemental. And Darkseer was aware that the moment he surges, Kipo would just sleep him. But at the same time, he was forced to use the surge because Kipo was doing like some wonderful body blocks. And sure, like, I mean, what else can you say? It was just a wonderful play.
Oh yeah, some nice play coming out of Kipo for sure.
And they're just finding everything they want so far in terms of laning, surprisingly. Except for maybe the Mirana. Still
Now
struggling a bit
Storm,
more.
gonna be catching the Mirana. Can Storm get that stun? Not quite fast enough, and Nelly not able to get the Grave Chill as well, or the Soul Assumption off, so a failed gank for Mongolz on TJ there. Not too well, and now Masquerade opting and being basically forced to surge around. He's got Ion Shells going down, but it's not quite enough, and he can't really use it on any of these Treants, so just send him home. While that's happening, it looks like we have an engagement on the bot. Soul Assumption doing an obscene amount, and it just looks like Shiny can't quite get past his own rock to get to that Nyx Assassin, but you always have that Nature's Prophet ult there to clean him up and do quite a bit of damage to him, so nice little kill going the way of Nature's Prophet, but Mirana does finally fall, giving Puck a little bit of extra breathing room.
Yeah, and if you notice, Mongolz, they continue to do their stacks once again. Oh man, they're just so efficient with these stacks and just like utilizing it to its full effectiveness. And yeah, Masquerade, now that he's hit level 6, should be able to put on a little bit more pressure onto Senior Hydra, like zoning him out with the Iron Shell. Yeah, I mean, we're still not seeing the double Iron Shells coming out though.
Kipo trying very hard to actually get a sleep on Puck in the mid. However, I mean, Sanke playing this perfectly. Instead, just getting ever so slightly out of the range of that Bane with the Illusory Orb, and I believe it's called, where is it? It's Illusory Jaunt. Ethereal Jaunt. Not quite Illusory Jaunt. And now Masquerade, once again, incredibly deep in enemy territory, doesn't even see the Bane Elemental, and it just looks like this might be a repeat coming up of what happened before. There is a sleep available, but no, instead decides against it. Senior Hydra, I suppose, at this low level, and without too much, can't deal so well with the Ion Shells, but I mean, you can always get Nature's Prophet in there. As I speak, and maybe talk a little bit too much about the top lane, looks like Paxa gets a solo kill on the Earthshaker. Nyx Assassin there to help with a mana burn. Maybe not a solo, it looks like a double kill. Or at least 2 heroes there. Ugh, trying to combine too many words in my mouth at the same time. Paxa though gets a kill, gonna be enjoying that.
Yeah, I mean, and he takes a tower, so that's pretty good. And now Panthers, they're gonna look for
Oh, Invisible Masquerade! Go Ion Shell, go! Puck able to finish him off. Almost doesn't even need Masquerade there.
Yeah. Oh, so did Masquerade pick up an
Oh,
Invisor
but Paxa now open wounded, can't quite get away. It looks like we have an engagement going on down in the bot. Storm running for his life. If there can be one nice fissure block, but decides against it. And now, while that's happening, it looks like Kipo trying to push and pressure this top tower, at least force somebody to get there. And so, I mean, you're going tit for tat on most of these kills, but when it comes down to it, Lifestealer, he hasn't died yet, he's gotten 1 kill, and you have Luna who has died, he's gotten 1 kill. I mean, you gotta give that slight edge to Lifestealer, I feel.
Well, Luna can always catch up with Flash Farm. Now that he has Helm Dominator, we'll be looking to start stacking the Ancient Camp. As well as, there's still a stack here that he hasn't taken. And if the supports continue to stack up more and more and more, then yeah, sure, Hand of Midas is gonna help Lifestealer, but eventually Luna will still be able to outfarm the Lifestealer. The question comes though, when you start taking the fights till late game, who is gonna do the tanking for the Luna? You have the Darkseer with the Vacuum Wall, but eventually Luna still has to get up close. There's a lot of great initiation, don't get me wrong, but if the Lifestealer ever comes in close with the, say, Lifestealer Bomb with the Furion, then Luna will still get ultimately shut down by Abyssal. But apart from that, Luna will have a pretty good time.
I don't know, I'd be really worried about the Bane myself. Just in general, trying to deal with that can be a huge headache for Luna. She doesn't have any way to really get out of it. Needs to rely on basically familiars and excuse me, familiars and Nyx Assassin to deal with it.
Yeah, as we predicted though, Sankey does have He's definitely completely dominated the lane with 55 last hits and 28 denies, whereas the Mirana only has being forced to use Stoffel to actually get some last hits in. Yeah, so overall, Mongolz doing very well in terms of last hitting.
Yeah, but when it comes down to, I mean, let's see who exactly is actually doing better. Sub 1,000, the Mongols in favor of the Mongols right now, so not too bad by any means. Looks like we got 500 difference in experience in favor of them as well, but that's pretty much nothing. And now we have a beautiful little infest bomb coming out of Kriz there, going from the top lane and basically giving a TP to Senior Hydra there. And is that an assist for him as well? Yes, indeed, it does count for that, so not too bad at all. And with that, I mean, now they can put pressure on this bottom tower, and it's starting to feel a little bit like Mongols. They need to start making something happen right now, because this Lifestealer is going to come online way faster than the Luna will.
Yeah, and if he finds a jungle stack, oh, never mind, the jungle stack's already been taken. But yeah, Mongols, I feel like they need to use the Luna as a bait and bait those like Lifestealer bombs to come in, and then they can turn the fight around. Sure, if Lifestealer wants to go on the Luna before he gets Abyssal or anything, Surge from Masquerade will always keep the Luna alive. Now we have a Surge Snake Assassin.
Ooh, finds a Bane. Kipo, though, in a heap of trouble. Got some TPs coming in. Soul Assumption, not quite enough to finish him off. Brain Sap, though, being used very nicely, as well as a Wand. Kipo still living through everything. Finally, a Soul Assumption is there. It looks like Shiny doesn't quite have enough mana. 170, there it is. There's the Fissure to finish off Nelly. Can't do too much. And it looks like an arrow landing on Masquerade as well. So you're trading a Bane for your Darkseer and a Visage. Not the best of trades. It looks like Sankey has picked up his Blink Dagger, however. Happened only a little while ago. But can't make too much use of it with all of those heroes there and no backup.
Yep, but this is a great time for them to start looking for team fights. Let's see, what does Doxy have? Oh, okay, so he's still far away from that mech. If Doxy could have gone a mech by now, possibly would have been pretty close without those two deaths. And Donkey with that Blink Dagger, they can look for very, very powerful team fights. 5-man push can start right now as we speak. Just the puck initiation, Doxia surging himself and then vacuuming everyone into Dream Coil, Waning Rift, Illusory Orb, Eclipse, and then have the two familiars land on top. But everything being said is in an ideal scenario, more than anything.
I mean, not only that.
How do you 5-man push against Nature's Prophet?
Yeah, and if you do 5-man push it, I mean, Luna will aid that, of course, with Lunar Blessing, but you really do just want your Luna farming around until she has a full-blown BKB at the very least. But it just seems like it'd be hard, even with that, for Mongols to go in and make something happen. Sankey, though, now is invisible. Doesn't seem to really matter, though, because he got this ward right down, so they know he's going around. They know he's around here somewhere. Kipo immediately plants down a sentry. He's still within it. Arrow flies, and Sankey now giving up an easy kill to the Panthers and feeling maybe a little bit too confident, a little bit too protected in that invisibility rune.
Oh man, see, this is like some really good plays coming out of Panthers. Just having that sentry ward at mid, as soon as, you know, the Nyx is level 6, that sentry ward has been placed, as a matter of fact, for the Nyx assassin, but well, Nyx didn't get to use his Vendetta, but instead Puck is the one who walks over with the Invis rune and ends up dying in that trade.
Oh yeah, a little bit unfortunate as well. Had a blink, but you can't obviously blink when you're legitimately stun locked the entire time. It is giving Luna a little bit of space to farm up. Has hit level 2 obviously, so not too bad. Or I shouldn't say has hit level 2, has gotten Eclipse level 2. Oh, you know that thing when you look at something and you try and say it, but only half comes out?
Oh yeah. Well, I get that problem mostly with player names. Sometimes it's like, oh man, how do I pronounce this name? And then like, it just doesn't come out right whenever I try. I do try my best though.
Oh yeah, both of us trying our best, folks, so just hoping that everything is at least somewhat to your liking. Now Nyx Assassin getting a little bit of farm. Sankey's already got some of his prime items, of course, with that Blink Dagger. Would love to see a Blink Dagger on this Nyx Assassin as well. And you just have Shiny as well as TJ waiting in the wings, seeing if they can't find anybody Earthshaker's actually got his Blink Dagger as well. While that's
Lifestealer
happening,
at top.
Lifestealer way overstaying his welcome down here. Not too sure what he was doing there. Maybe feeling overly
Probably trying to
confident for
dive.
sure. And, I mean, it just ends in his death. Not too great. And now that's going to equalize
And at
things up
mid.
pretty nicely. And then, yeah,
Ooh.
as mid, arrows flying, doesn't land, of course. And looks like Panthers able to leap out of whatever funniness was going on.
Oh man. If I saw it correctly, Lifestealer was trying to solo kill the Luna, and then all the TP supports came and just popped him. And now this is going to be an easy tier 1 for Mongolz as well. So now they are starting to get some things in return.
Tower has fallen.
And that should be the BKB flying towards Luna. And with this BKB being picked up this early, well, it's a pretty good time, 15-16 minute mark. And the Ancients are being stacked as well. So yeah, Luna, he can start joining team fights. And if the Lifesteal Bomb ever comes in, he can at least take out, say, a Furion if the Treants are not being summoned.
Under attack.
Storm, yeah, using that Spike Carapace just to do a little bit of damage on TJ, but with that haste rune, he needs to actually be very careful here. Bane is here as well with the Fiend's Grip, and that's just feeding a kill. Maybe feeling a little bit too confident, couldn't quite, actually did know it was a haste rune, not too sure what he was doing there, but a little bit of misplay coming out of Storm, it seems.
And now Paxa and the Rebels team, they're just taking the Ancient stack. And everyone's getting some nice, decent levels. And the mech has finally... Oh, okay, no. Almost. He just needs a... what's it?
Chainmail?
Chainmail, there we go. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I kept on wanting to say plate mail for some odd reason. Yeah, but just very, very close to that mech.
Tower is under attack.
Teamfight potential right now. This is at the peak of the magical spells, so might as well utilize it before any more items come in for the Panthers.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you have Lifestealer who's starting to look a little bit like a race car. He's going to be kind of hard to deal with. Pax actually moving very quickly as well, of course. And now, if anybody can hear that... Oh, no, nobody can hear
Yes.
that, but only I can, or possibly Mito, because we're talking in a separate channel. But it seems, for anybody who has been paying attention this entire day, there was a burst pipe outside of my home, and now they're sawing down a wall.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
Yeah, so sorry
much
if
fun.
anybody hears a little bit of a power saw in the background, but I can't do anything about it, so...
Are we gonna see a Dagon puck? Or is it just gonna be one of those sheepstick pucks? I actually like the Dagon a lot on a puck. Puck is a hero. If you actually do the mathematical calculation, doesn't have all that much of a burst compared to most heroes. Like Queen of Pain, SF, Pudge. So having that Dagon actually amplifies your ability to get solo kills at this stage of the game.
But I mean, like you were saying earlier, now's the time to kind of start doing these big team fights and taking those towers, that sort of thing. They've got their mech up. Luna's been farming quite nicely. She's got all 4 in Lunar
Ooh.
Blessing now. What? What's wrong?
See this guy?
Yeah, I see that
Look
guy.
at what he has. Oh, okay. Do you see what he has though?
Yeah, he's got Blink.
Oh, has he shown a blink?
Dude, he's had Blink forever.
Really?
Yeah, he's had
Oh,
Blink for like
man.
the past 3
I'm
minutes.
missing out. Oh, I totally missed out. Cause, well, your chainsaw in the background is just a little too noisy.
Oh,
It's
so
being
sorry
lightheaded.
about that. But yeah, like you were saying, yeah, you
No,
could
I'm
get a
just kidding.
Dagon on Puck, find those solo kills, or try to. But, I mean, why not do a big fight? And now it looks like we have a Necro coming down for Kriz in a little bit of a tough situation. Can't quite force staff into the river. Do they have any detection? Oh my god, they don't. It looks like they have one right there, but he is able to barely get out of there. They can't quite find him. Masquerade still looking for him. And that Moonlight Shadow absolutely saving his life. Usually in these high-level games, you don't see that little of detection going down. However, we do have finally that Blink Dagger being shown by the Earthshaker, but it did not catch out this Paxa, and Eclipse being used very nicely now. We have a Wall of Replica going down as well. Senior Hydra, he wants to do as much work as he possibly can. He needs to be very careful here. He just needs a single creep to infest into. Not too sure if that plan panned out as well as you would have thought, and you can infest into familiars. Can you infest into enemy familiars?
I think so.
I want to say you
Not too
can.
Not too sure about that. Well, I don't play Lifestealer enough. Not really my type of hero, but Possibly. And that was a good fight. It was the kind of fight that, well, didn't really come that expectedly. It's like kind of Panthers is deciding to double back, and it was a very good initiation from the Bane Elemental. But then, like, when the follow-ups from Mongolz came around, they just couldn't handle it. And that's why I mean that, like, Mongolz, they have the items they need to put on the pressure, and this, like I said, it was a good time to do so as well. And as we can see in that trade just now, in that team fight, they did come out on top. They're actually still behind on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just ever
Panthers
so
leading
slightly.
by 1 kill.
In the gold graph, though, the Mongols are leading, but just barely, only about 1,500 advantage. 4,000 advantage in experience, however, so they're leading in that regard quite nicely, but, I mean, this game just so dead even. 1,500 is pretty much meaningless this late into the game, and even last game, it was up to about, what, 7,000, but at, an hour plus, it really doesn't tell you a single thing of it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how we're only 20 minutes into the game and it feels already quite late into the game. Whereas opposed, say, if you go back to 6.67B or 6.67C, where you have like Naga Siren versus Morphling, 20 minutes would be like the beginning of like First Blood or something ridiculous. Nobody rotates, just have to carry farm all day, and then you have this like slugfest, like 50 plus minutes into the game.
Oh yeah, and now
The
it
two
looks
carries
like...
are all like 5-6 slotted.
Yeah, Panthers taking a, I mean, I don't want to call this cheeky, but a little bit of like a cheeky Roche. Chris actually sprouting up and doesn't treant anything out of it. And now, looks like we do have an engagement going into the mid, but a quick blink out by Fast Fingers Shiny there to guarantee it. And I mean, I don't even think that they know this Roche is getting taken right now.
Yeah, that's really smart, Panthers, showing most of the heroes on the lane, and then just using 2 heroes to take the Roche. It was totally worth it. It took a little bit of time, but overall, why not? Lifestealer has Armlet, Midas, and Drums. And Midas is always a great hero on Lifestealer. The bonus attack speed complements the Feast extremely well, as well as if you want to constantly use the Lifestealer Bomb, then you won't lose out on any farm or XP. Well, at least not when, say, you don't have a Midas and you fail gank, and then it's like, oh god, I gotta catch up, I gotta do my catch-up farm. And it's kind of a negative cycle, so in this sense, yeah, it's pretty good. But now, a lot of core heroes are starting to get their Blink Daggers, and this game is just gonna get more and more tense. Storm with the Blink, Puck with the Blink, and sooner or later, oh wow.
Oh, an engagement on the mid. Finally, they finally find TJ. They got that silence off on him, and now the familiar stuns as well, guaranteeing that he does not get out of there. Looks like we have Nature's Prophet. He's trying to find this courier. One hit, can't quite get the second one, and Paxa does indeed continue to chase him down. Instead, just going straight for the Necro Creep's going to be eating a little bit of damage there. Might have actually been able to find him, but while that's happening, it looks like you have Lifestealer taking out Puck's face over near the tower. Finally found him, it seems, and now the Familiars doing what they can. Do they have a way? Actually going in, can't quite do it. Big Echo Slam, not big enough, however, and now it looks like Senior Hydra still doing his very best to continue on his way. With that Aegis, obviously, Bane trying to sleep himself, stall for time, it would appear. Still doing very nicely, and now it looks like Senior Hydra back into the fray, right onto Storm, and of course, while he's raged, all you can try to do is body block. Masquerade still playing that very nicely, however. He wants to get into a creep, finally does. I don't know if he's going to live through this, doesn't really matter. Moonlight Shadow, however, and the Familiar Stun's able to finally kill him, and now it looks like TJ is still going to eat that Soul Assumption. Obviously, you can't disjoint that one, although you do have Nature's Prophet knocking on your front, or I should say bottom door on this bot lane now as well, and Masquerade really deep in here, doesn't want to eat that arrow, make sure he gets away from it, and he can get a double damage rune for his troubles, and I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh, nice, gonna try and chase down TJ. Well, that being said and done, Masquerade, he's getting closer and closer to his pipe as well, and if you get the pipe up for his team, then oh wow, you're gonna start seeing probably a 5-man push coming out of the Mongolz. They have the Manta stuff done up on the Luna as well. They can use the Luna illusions as well as, say, Masquerades just turning on the pipe and then just start pushing uphill. Oh, and for now, I think Nature's Prophet has to do more and more split pushing. He has to keep the creep wave pushed out, but with heroes like Nyx Assassin on his butt, it's going to be relatively difficult.
Oh yeah, and tremendously difficult. I mean, Nyx Assassin, though, doesn't quite have the burst that he needs to take him down, but at most he can kind of be a deterrent. I feel like Nature's Prophet, especially if Necronomicon is off of cooldown and he can get those Necro units, he's always going to be having a better time against Nyx Assassin than he will be against him.
Yeah, so once again, we have a very close game between these two teams. 25 kills in 25 minutes. No one's the lead in particular. Well, XP Graph says differently. Mongolz are ahead by a lot in terms of XP. But Gold Graph, merely 3,000 difference. Yeah, and I mean, when you have Rat Dota, when you have Furion, you can always go. Yeah, you always have the potential to win games just by split pushing.
It certainly seems though like Paxa I should say, just commanding this farm chart. He's up to 15k net worth, only 10k on the Lifestealer, and obviously while Lifestealer can do probably more with a little bit fewer gold, it just feels like Luna is starting to snowball. She's actually getting closer and closer to that Satanic if she wants that to be her next item, and I mean, why wouldn't you? You could pretty much survive through almost anything right now that the Panthers have to throw at you, especially with this BKB under your belt. And I mean, then it just feels like, yeah, you can have Nature's Prophet split pushing, but with a Luna with Manta and Manta and a Satanic under her belt, it's going to be very difficult to not want him back and try and stop those pushes, because beyond that, I guess you have an Earthshaker block. He's always quite a nice deterrent for those pushes as well, but you just don't have, I feel, enough anti-push without that that Nature's Prophet to really stop a big five-man pushing.
Yeah, why not? Luna accidentally blocked the camp. Couldn't get the farm right there. But yeah, Satanic. If you get the Satanic up in the Luna, right now there's not that much of a physical damage coming out. Oh, okay. Now we have the first glimpse of bashing coming out of Lifestealer, and this is the Lifestealer bomb they're looking for.
There's
and
the Infest
Luna,
bomb.
He's gonna get caught out.
Oh no, Luna though, kind of feeling it. Oh, is he just stuck in the... Oh, just absolutely stuck in the wall now. Fiend's Grip immediately. All 5 heroes are here, but look at just how much damage he's able to tank. He can still get an Eclipse. There's the mech. Ooh, big wall. Amazing. Huge Earthshake, however, doing that big Echo Stomp. But now these Necronomicons trying to clear everything up. Luna did indeed fall. The Panthers, they should probably just be cutting and running, taking their victories. Looks like they want to be greedy, try and take whatever they possibly can. The Familiar's getting some nice stuns, however, and they are able to find a Puck, are able to find a Darkseer as well, so maybe I'm a little bit wrong. Obviously now pops that Spike Carapace, and they're able to find a Nyx Assassin, so that little Infest Bomb coming out of Kriz, that was just the moneymaker play right there. Also, slightly unfortunate that Luna got stuck in between a fissure and a wall.
Oh yeah, but as you can see, these games are just going back and forth. Oh, these two teams are just so evenly matched. I think they would be great scrim partners outside of the ESPL weekly series, and they can be best friends, and well, yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe we should suggest that to them after the game goes, because I mean, they must be appreciating just how back and forth, how close these games are, and how evenly matched they both appear to be. Senior Hydra, though, he has picked off that Basher, and that's going to make Luna's life quite a bit harder if she ever does try to get into a one-on-one fight with him. Because just even at 1 or 2 lucky bashes, I mean, that's going to be the death of her, because she doesn't have a good way to really deal with it. You can't Manta style out of that, but I mean, it's really hard to say. She does do quite a nice amount of damage herself.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back about it, Satanic, it gives you HP, but then the more HP you have, the better it is for the Lifestealer. So,
ooh,
I mean,
Storm
you have
might
to be
find
go
a
for the
juicy
butterfly.
Mariana. Oh, and doesn't use the Vendetta or the stun fast enough. So what might have been, I don't want to say a sure kill. She had about 700 life. I mean, let's see. 400 from that. Got some good mana burn. Got an Impale. Would have been close, I feel, at the very least, but whiffs it in the last second, it seems. But yeah, what were you saying, my friend?
I'm saying I'm liking Luna's choice a lot more. I actually said it before you picked up the Eagle song. I was like, it's probably better to go for the Butterfly. You need the evasion up against the Lifestealer before he gets anything else. In regards to the amount of magical bursts coming out of Panthers, sure, it's going to be hard to deal with, but you have the BKB. And if you get Fiend's Grip, you're relying on your support and your other heroes like Puck to help you out. Puck is almost about 875 gold off that sheepstick, and Doxia, not too far off that blink as well. And these heroes will all be able to help you out as long as the Bane doesn't have that BKB. And this is the point where they should focus on getting Kipo that BKB, because it's going to be so big in shutting down that Luna.
Oh yeah, but he's actually quite a ways off from it when you look right down to it. He still needs 800 for 800. No, not. Yeah, 800 for the hammer there. Still needs 1300 after that, so he's still sitting at about 2k disadvantage unless he's got it somewhere I'm not seeing it.
Yep, and Panther, they should get a ward into the Radiant jungle. That way, because Luna right now, she's afraid to farm out the lanes by herself, because you're definitely going to see a Lifestealer bomb coming in. But if you place the ward inside the jungle, like here, and then you place another one over here, so you have full control of the Radiant jungle, you know if the supports are nearby. And I mean, look at it, bottom tier 2 is already gone. So if Luna's ever out here by herself, that would be an easy pick-off.
And I mean, that's kind of the way it feels right now, is that Panthers, I wouldn't say they're commanding this game, but they are definitely controlling where Mongolz is feeling comfortable on the map. Obviously, you do have the Ancients for Luna still available, and that's not too bad, but now they're actually trying to sneak once again. It looks like they're trying to be taking these sneaky Roches. You always do have Earthshaker waiting in the wings, however, waiting to get a big Echo Slam available and a big Fissure as well, and of course Kipo, as long as he has his finger on the Fiend's Grip button, on that R button, it's going to be quite difficult for Luna, and it looks like they're, I don't want to say happy, but they're willing to give up this roast just so that Luna has a little bit of extra space to farm, and I guess they just don't really want to take it until she finishes off that butterfly, and I mean rightly so.
Yeah, I mean the stacks continue, and here's going to be that butterfly. So it's going to be Abyssal Lifestealer versus a Luna with butterfly and BKB. Luna's items does look a little bit better than the Lifestealer. Yeah, if you look at net worth, she is about 4,000 gold above the Lifestealer. But I feel like it all depends on how the fights happen, you know, and who gets caught first. If Luna's all the way in the back and then just jumping in and then throwing that Eclipse, and then once she pops a Manta, it's gonna be relatively hard. It won't be too easy for the Lifestealer to figure out which one's the real one until you say you have the Furion Ultimate come out, or even the Earthshaker Fissure and Echo Slam, or unless the Luna pops the BKB.
I mean, yeah, just hard to say, but it really does feel like whoever gets the big initiation will probably have a better time. Obviously, in Earthshaker, you can have pretty nice counter initiation combined with Kipo as long as they stay well back. But now that Puck, he's got his Sheepstick, that's pretty terrifying to try and go up against. And, I mean, that's probably going to be quite a bit of utility, especially if Puck shift queues up that that Piggy Wiggy onto Earthshaker. As soon as he blinks in for that Echo Slam and Fissure combo, he's just going to get turned into a pig and will most likely melt before, basically melt before Mongolz, before he can do a single thing. So I want to watch, see if that even does happen. Obviously a very strong play if it does.
Yeah, and right now Lifestealer and Luna, they're both dealing close to 300 damage per hit. And Panthers, they realize, hey, Mongolz, they're missing, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna group up and smoke on our own. The only hero who doesn't need to be in that smoke is that Nature's Prophet down at bottom. Nature's Prophet, as a matter of fact, has picked up a Sheepstick as well. Man, it just feels like whenever someone gets an item, someone on the other team gets something like equivalent. And this is, oh man, this is so tough.
Oh, yeah.
And this smoke gank, not gonna find anyone. Just gonna find a Satyr sitting at mid. But yeah, everyone's, I mean, Mongolz, they're all just sitting behind Paxa, just making sure this Luna gonna be farming up, not gonna get ganked. Oh, and they've caught vision of Panthers.
Ooh, not with that Moonlight Shadow though. Now, maybe trying to set something up. Do they have any detection going on? They should. Actually, none on the first three heroes that are there. Nelly doesn't have any either. And Masquerade, he does have the gem, so they really do just need to wait. Oh no, this is going horribly. Paxa completely caught out, trying to kind of trying to stop it, and now pops that BKB, but of course, just waiting in the wings, trying to use that Abyssal, still trying to eat through everybody. Those bouncing glaives actually almost able to clear up Senior Hydra. The Aegis at the very least does pop. An immediate buyback coming out of Paxa, and they are able to clean up the rest of the team. So one Luna for a complete team wipe, Senior Hydra. You are not getting out of here alive. There's that Soul Assumption flying. One Luna for one Luna buyback, I should say, for 5 heroes. That is a terrific trade. And whoops, that's the wrong button. My bad. Who has buyback on the Dire? Earthshaker, Lifestealer, and Mirana. I mean, that's enough that you could probably take this Rax unhindered, considering just how much damage Luna will be able to do to those barracks.
And Manta Illusions are coming out in 3 seconds. Oh, and these familiars, man. Oh, the back punch. It's a good thing they don't get any bonus damage from the Lunar Blessing. Otherwise, too OP. Too OP.
Oh yeah, it's like Drow, the Drower.
Yeah. Well, but
now,
Drow can turn it on as well.
Yeah, true. And now it looks like there it is. There's that lane of Rax. Not too sure. Nelly's still very far forward. Not too sure what he's doing. Maybe just trying to be the bait that this team wants and needs. And that does indeed seem to be how it's going. Eclipse is used. Everybody running away. There is a nice Abyssal use, but now this Lifestealer way too far forward. He actually just bought back. If he falls here, he is out for 90 seconds. Panthers, not too sure he bought back either. Did he actually? No, he did not. Still has it available, and Earthshaker now buys back as well, just to get back into the fray. And this is what I'm talking about, is when you have Nature's Prophet, who obviously wants to split push, you just can't when there is so much damage coming out of Luna right now. And especially with these glaives, these tier 4s are absolutely gonna melt. And look at just how much damage they're doing. The Manta Illusions as well. And I mean, this could be GG. It doesn't look like they have a way to deal with it in a fast enough time, especially not with Puck able to sheep whoever gets in the way. Kriz almost falling here, but Moonlight Shadow able to protect him. They don't have a fortification available. Big Echo Slam going down. Paxa, he needs to not die here, but he's so obscenely close. Does eventually fall. Looks like Kriz will as well, but there's still 40 seconds on the Lifestealer. Looks like Kipo trying to get a Fiends. Does indeed get it on the Puck. Can't quite finish him off. He's looking for this Brain Sap as soon as he gets back in. And there it is. Finally polishes him off. They are not quite able to finish off this goddamn Ancient. Masquerade now running away. Has been put to sleep. These Familiars, though, can still do quite a bit of damage to this Ancient if they can finally polish him off. Masquerade not quite fallen yet. He's actually got a gem for each eye. Some nice stuns falling on to TJ there. They really want to finish him off. He finally does pop that Arcane Boots, and when everything is said and done, the Familiars trying their very best to pot shot this down, and now instead gonna be getting a kill onto that Mirana. So this just continues. A smile coming out of Masquerade, and the Familiars able to run back and hide. And now this is when things start to get almost obnoxious. Puck does pick up a Dagon 3 immediately, but this is what I'm talking about, is these Familiars, they can just go in, try and take down this as much as they can. Storm is now here trying to take down the Kipo, couldn't quite finish him off, not even with the Familiar stuns. Kipo needs to get out of here, or that's just going to be more food for him. And then there it is, finally finishing him off. These Familiars just run over top of it, where these melee heroes can't hit you, and now the only one who can is Kipo. You still have one Familiar pot shotting this down. It just will not end. Kipo trying his very best. Familiar does not quite have a stun available, and now it looks like Chris very close, and this Familiar just going to be right on top of him. It looks like he will indeed fall here as well. The buyback available for him, yes indeed, storing up just enough money for that. And now this is where Familiars are going to start to become quite obnoxious. That's actually quite a bit of regen on the Dire Ancient that I didn't suspect they would have, but I mean, if he just flies them in here, constantly takes little pot shots at this thing over and over again, it's gonna, you basically always need to have at least one ranged hero back there to protect it.
Hey, did you know there's a secret item in the game? When you carry more than 4 gems, right, it becomes a gem of Scotty.
That isn't. That's not true.
Oh man, I was hoping you were more gullible.
Dude, come on.
Look, they're flying in, they're TPing in, right there. Those Familiars.
Familiars going
this is
in.
so cheesy.
You know what they need? They need boots of travel. The Mongolz on every single one of them.
Oh yeah, especially if the Luna gets there.
Oh, but Puck finds a kill and actually not even paying attention to these other heroes, just paying attention to that Ancient. And with the Bane and the Nature's Prophet both down. Buyback not available on either. It seems like this is just going to be a final steamroll, and I mean the final push. Gonna have to make some ridiculous plays coming out from here. Puck just going in, baiting out the rage, and now it looks like Senior Hydra in a horrible spot, can't do anything, and a beautiful blink stun coming in by Storm, finishing him off. There's the Echo Slam, isn't enough. Satanic Butterfly, Manta on Luna, there's the GG, and with that, everybody, Mongolz is your ESPL Weekly Series number 4 victor. They're getting $100, they're getting some league points, a beautiful bit of play coming out from them. And with that, the Panthers and Mongolz, I mean, God, these teams so equally matched.
Oh yeah, man. After the first game, didn't expect the second game to be as good, but still, it was brilliant. Like, I mean, the game was just hanging in balance. There were times where I thought, oh, Panthers are gonna take this, and then there are times where like, oh dear, like Mongolz, they have the upper hand, and then Panthers comes back, and then it's like back and forth, and I can't believe the game ended.
I know. Oh my, just tremendous. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Obviously, all you lovely bettors from Dota 2 Lounge, thanks for coming in and supporting us. We got a ticket, courier. It's $5. It's really nice. I am, of course, Briefcase, who's been casting this for you, along with the handsome, lovely Mito, one of my good friends. And so thank you everybody. That's the last game. And what a goddamn good finals. I want to say the best finals we've ever had, Mito.
I definitely concur, and hopefully every week it'll just get better and better, and I bet they will.
Oh yeah, well, here's hoping. So thanks everybody, and stream's closing. You can hang around for some music, but